Looks like it's who we have today, so welcome everyone. We'll go ahead and get started. So we'll take a comfortable seat. Draw the shoulders up and away from the ears. Keeping the chest lifted, we'll drop the nose down toward the floor. Eyes can be closed or soft. Just drawing the awareness to the breath. Starting to deepen out that breath, and particularly drawing it all the way down to the belly. So feel the belly move in and out. Becoming aware of the parts of the body that are connected to the earth, that are touching the floor. And then starting to expand the awareness, maybe a little bit further. Can you sense the earth beneath you? Can you sense into the earth? Feeling gravity holding us here on this planet. Staying with that nice deep breathing, you start to visualize that you're breathing with the earth. So seeing if you can drop your awareness more and more, deeper and deeper into the earth. And then visualizing exchanging breath with the earth. So drawing your inhale up from the earth and exhaling back down and releasing into the earth. So you're connected here. Everything else around you, the wind, the atmosphere, and other things, other thoughts moving around you, just move past your being. You stay connected here from your part of the earth, drawing awareness deeper and deeper into the heart of the earth. Continue to expand your awareness laterally, so starting to move across the surface of the earth without losing that deep connection to what is below the surface of the earth. Noticing if there's a difference in the space that might be in front of you as opposed to the space that is behind you. Trying to expand the awareness laterally as well as down deep into the earth. And drawing the awareness back to the full length of the breath, starting to lengthen out, inhale and exhale, long and smooth breathing. And on your next inhale, slowly open the eyes and come back into your space. Let's take the hands onto the hips or the tops of the thighs here. I'm going to circle at the hips. Keep those sit bones down. It's going to rotate here. So you're leaning forward. When you come forward, you might lean back when you come toward the back side. We'll pause in that direction and we'll circle the other way. Just noticing what you might be feeling in the hips and the back of the body. Yeah, and then we'll work our way back to center. So we're going to sit, if you're not already sitting in a cross-legged position, just a comfortable cross-legged with one leg in front of the other. From here, we're going to come forward any amount. You can walk your hands forward, but still try to keep those sit bones down. And if your elbows can easily come to the floor, then you might start to drop your nose down toward the floor as well. If your elbows are not on the floor, then we'll just work on bringing the chest a little closer. The eyes can be soft here, just breathing into the hips. On an inhale, we'll come on and back up from there. I'm going to switch the cross of your legs so the other leg is in front. And same thing here, both sit bones still down. We'll come on forward. You might drop the elbows down. The head could drop down as well. It's breathing into where you're feeling stretch. On inhale, we'll come on up from there. Let's take the left leg out in a wide shape, but keep your right leg drawn in. So I'm just going to have one leg out. So not straight forward, but in a wide shape. So it's like a half version of the wide leg seated forward bend. Yeah, good. So whatever wide may be for you here. Then take your left hand, slide it down the length of your leg. So you're going to start to drop that whole left side down. And you might be able to drop your elbow all the way onto the floor. So you might be able to come to the inside edge, but you could also stay up onto the leg if that is better. Keep your opposite sit bone down. And take your right hand to your hip, draw the shoulder back, and start to turn toward the ceiling. So you're drawing your chest toward up toward the ceiling. Now, if your elbow is down toward the floor, you can use your left elbow, leverage against your leg to turn a little more, so you can start to twist a little more. And if your right shoulder can stay back, you could release that hand maybe up toward the ceiling, or maybe even starting to bring it over your head towards your left foot. If you're doing that though, keep the chest open, still twisting and still opening up toward the ceiling. Inhale, we'll come on back up to center. So keeping your legs where they are, we're going to come right between the two knees. So straight forward here, dropping the chest down. You can bring your hands forward as much as you like. And again, you might be able to take your nose down. If your elbows can come to the floor, keep those sit bones down. And on inhale, we'll come on up from there. Let's switch sides. So we'll extend the right leg out and the left leg in. So again, that's in a half wide position. We'll take the right hand now down the length of that right leg. And again, you might drop to the inside edge. You might just stay more stacked. The whole right side of the body starts to drop over that leg. Left hand could come to your left hip. Draw the shoulder way back, starting to open the chest toward the ceiling. You could leverage against the leg that's on the floor, perhaps, and opening here. And then that left hand, if your shoulder can stay back, might come straight up, might come all the way over the head. Just keep that opposite sit bone down. And on the inhale, we'll come on back up from there. And then right between the two knees, we'll drop straight forward, bringing your arms forward, elbows down. Deep breathing all the way down into the hips. And on inhale, we'll come on up from there. All right, we're gonna draw those legs and we're gonna work our way onto hands and knees. And if you have a blanket, you'll wanna pad your knees. If you have a couple of blocks, you wanna have them up near the front of your mat. So just starting in the hands and knees with your knees on a blanket, we're going to take your right foot and kick it all the way up by your hands. So kicking just your right foot forward. You can walk your foot forward enough that your knee is starting to straighten out. So your toes are coming forward here. And then from here, this is where you can use your blocks if you need to. We're going to bring your hips forward so that your knee can come over your ankle. So we started out with the foot a little bit forward. When you bring your hips forward, tailbone down, that knee comes right over your front ankle and you get a hip flexor stretch in the back leg, in your left leg. That's what we're going for here. All right. From here, if you feel okay, you can bring your hands up onto your knee. Just make sure you don't bring your hips back to do so. You don't bring your hips back. You keep those hips forward, hands on the knee, tailbone down toward the floor. Abdominals in, strong in the legs. If you feel okay here, arms up, Anjaneyasana, opening the chest. Breathing. Want a little more here, turn your palms up toward the ceiling. So it's like you're holding the ceiling up with your hands, and then look up toward the ceiling and maybe come into a back bend by starting to take your fingers back behind you. So just an option if you want, squeezing, holding, breathing. On an exhale, we'll turn the gaze back down toward the floor. We're going to bring your hands back down onto your blocks toward the floor. And now straighten your front leg by drawing your hips back. So your hips are going to come back toward your left foot. You're going to start to drop down over your right leg. So your toes may come up on your right side. Nose starts to drop down toward your knee. And then from here, we're going to come back into that Anjaneyasana. So bringing those hips forward again and coming on up, arms up. Now we'll bring the palms together at the center of the heart. You're going to lean forward and then hook that left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Push the palms together and start to twist, turning your chest toward the right. I'm going to open up here. So you're twisting around the spine, keeping the hips where they are. Breathing. On an inhale, we'll unwind the twist. And we're going to bring your right hand onto a block or the floor. Bend your left knee and reach back for your foot. So you're going to hold your left foot with your left hand. Start to pull it in toward your hip. And then if you can release that right hand, turning your chest back toward the front, and then maybe release the hand up toward the ceiling. All of that is optional. You could keep your hand wherever it needs to be. So you're holding your left foot, your back foot, starting to pull it in toward your hip. Yeah, and then maybe releasing your other hand. All right, some of you have been holding it. So we're going to go ahead and release. We'll take one more time with the hips back towards your back heel, dropping down over your right leg. And then we'll come on up. We're going to slip that right foot back, coming back into the hands and knees position. From here, I'm going to switch to the other side. So you'll kick that left foot up by your hands and walk the foot a little bit forward. So you have a slightly straight knee to start, and then bring your hips forward to bring that knee over your ankle. You really want to find the connection points on the floor with your left foot, your right knee, toning the muscles of the legs. And if you feel solid here, you could come on up with the hands on the knee. Good. Tailbone down protects the lower back, chest open. If you're okay here, arms up, Anjaneyasana. The option here, if you want, turn the palms up like you're holding the ceiling up and look up, and then maybe start to take your hands a little bit further behind, coming into a back bend. And then we'll bring the gaze back down to the floor, release the hands down. We're going to straighten that front leg, coming into our hamstring stretch, starting to drop over the left knee, toes up toward the ceiling on that left foot. And then we'll come on up again, coming back into the Anjaneyasana. So drawing the hips forward, that knee over your ankle. Releasing the hands back up toward the ceiling, opening up here. Really connecting with earth, finding the feet on the floor, the knee on the floor. Breathing. We'll bring the palms together at the center of the chest, leaning forward. We'll take the right elbow to the outside of the knee and then push the hands together, starting to draw the thumbs back to the center of the chest and twisting around the length of the spine. Starting to draw the top shoulder back, breathing here. And then we'll unwind the twist. We're going to bend that back knee. So you can come to the inside edge of your front foot with a block or a support here. Bend your back knee, reach back with that right hand. Start to pull the foot in close towards your hips. So that's step one. And then you can turn the chest back toward what's in front and maybe releasing that other hand up toward the ceiling. So all optional here. That's why we want that padding on your back knee. And then we'll release that back leg. I'm going to come back to that hamstring stretch. The hip comes back and the nose starts to drop down. And then we're going to go ahead and slip that foot back, coming back into your hands and knees position. I'm going to take your knees wide, your feet a little closer to each other, and tuck your toes under. I'm going to come into a balancing squat. So you're going to walk your hands back toward your feet, lift your knees off of the floor. And your heels will start to work their way toward the floor. You can adjust how wide your feet are as much as you like. Starting to bring your heels down. And then working your way up, maybe bringing your elbows to your knees, hands together at the heart. And then finding your balance, we'll start to lift up to the top of the head, drawing your shoulders back, maybe bringing your elbows off of your knees. Balancing squat. Just breathing here. Your hands could be anywhere. They could stay at the center of your heart. They might come out to the side in a goddess pose position. You might take them over your head. Anywhere you'd like with the hands. And then from here, we're going to work our way up to standing, any way that works for you. I'm going to come all the way up to standing. All right, so good. I see a couple people wanted to do standing forward bend first. I totally get it. And then work your way up. We'll come back to standing forward bend. All right, I'm going to work today in a moon salutation instead of a sun salutation. And so the concept there is you're going to be turning sideways on your mat so that you're going to be going left and right. The way the moon salutation works is it makes a crescent shape across the floor, and then you come back the other direction. And so you go one side and then the other side. So we're going to start going down. Let's go toward the left first. We're going to go left direction first. We'll go slow. I'll talk you through it and then we can speed up. So I want to start by taking the arms up and over the head. Crescent shape to the left, and drop down here, both shoulders in line to the left side. Inhale up through center, crescent pose to the right, dropping down. Inhale back up to center, release your hands. You're going to step your feet now into goddess pose. So the feet are wide, toes out, heels in. Now bend your knees over your ankles, tailbone down toward the floor. So abdominals are in, tailbone down. Goddess pose, arms straight out from your shoulders, and then bend your elbows. Feeling into your feet, feeling the tone of the leg muscles. And from here, we're going to be transitioning into triangle pose, a lateral posture on the left side. So your left foot is the one that's going to turn out straight. Your right foot will turn in. So here, I'm going to straighten the legs, release your arms, turn your feet. Left toes out, right toes in, hips in line with your feet. When you're ready, arms out to the sides, hips in line with the feet. Reach through your left hand and come on down for triangle pose. Trikonasana, stack your shoulders. Open the chest, head, shoulders, everything in line with that left foot. And from here, we're going to transition into pyramid pose, which is a sagittal plane posture. So the hips are going to rotate toward the floor. So rotate everything down, chest and hand and hips down toward the floor. You can bring your fingertips to the floor or blocks if you need. Both legs are straight. So you notice your right foot had to pivot a bit, or your back foot had to pivot. Yeah, right foot had to pivot a little to come into pyramid. From pyramid, we're going to come into Anjaneyasana, where we were before. So you're going to drop your back knee by bending your front knee. Drop your back knee to the floor, and then lift up the hands here, Anjaneyasana. So this is the bottom of the crescent, opening up. And from here, we're going to come through the bottom of the crescent. So bring both hands to the floor. We're going to rotate around on your feet to the other side and drop your back knee. So we're going to come into Anjaneyasana, facing the other side. So drop your back knee and then lift the head, the chest, and the arms. Here's our crescent pose, or a version of the crescent underneath on this side, not crescent pose, it's Anjaneyasana. From here, we're going to work our way into pyramid on this side. So bring your hands to the floor, straighten your back knee and straighten your front knee. Get both knees straight, lengthening out, pyramid pose. From here, we're going to come into triangle pose. So we've got to open the hips, stack your hips, and lift that left hand up toward the ceiling. So this is what makes this salutation harder than the sun salutation is. We go back and forth between the lateral position of the hips and sagittal position of the hips. So remember, Trikonasana, everything's stacked, everything's linear. From here, we're going to come back into goddess pose. So you're going to lift up, turn those toes out, bend the knees. Right, and now step the feet together, hands to the heart. All right, so we're going to do the same thing now, only we're going to go down the other side, but down the right side first. So on an inhale, we'll take the arms up. Crescent pose to the right, dropping down. Inhale, back up through center. Crescent pose to the left, other side. Inhale, back up through center. Goddess pose, feet wide. Trikonasana, triangle to the right. Straighten that front leg and back leg and come on down. Stacking your shoulders. Pyramid pose on the side. Rotate the hips, rotate the chest, straightening both legs. Anjaneyasana, drop your back knee, open your chest, bottom of the crescent here. Bring the hands down to the floor. We're going to rotate all the way around to the other side and drop your knee. Coming into Anjaneyasana on this other side. Pyramid pose on this side. Straighten both legs over that front leg. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Stack the shoulders, stack the hips, opening out in a linear posture. Lateral series. Goddess pose on this side. Toes out, heels in. All right, let's step the feet together, bring the hands to the heart. We're gonna put it all together. We'll do one faster motion on both sides. We're gonna come back to that first side. Inhale, arms up. Crescent pose to the left, dropping down. Inhale up through center, crescent pose to the right. Inhale up through center, goddess pose, big step out. Trikonasana, triangle to the left, straighten both legs, left foot forward. Pyramid pose on the side, rotating the hips. Drop your back knee, Anjaneyasana, opening here. Rotating all the way around to the other side. Drop your back knee, Anjaneyasana on this side. Pyramid pose on this side. Straighten both legs. Trikonasana, triangle pose, opening here. Goddess pose, coming on up. Step the feet together, hands to the heart. We got one more side. On an inhale, bring the arms up. Right side, crescent pose. Exhale, come down. Inhale, back up. Left side, crescent pose. Inhale, back up. Goddess pose. Step apart. Coming into Trikonasana to the left. Straight legs, come on down. Triangle pose. Pyramid pose on this side, rotating hips, rotating shoulders. Anjaneyasana, drop that back knee, open the chest. All the way around Anjaneyasana, other side, drop your back knee, open the chest. Pyramid pose on this side, straighten both legs. Trikonasana, triangle, opening the hips, opening the chest. Goddess pose, coming on up. And stepping the feet together, hands to the heart. Breathing. Good work. All right, let's take the hands to the lower back, fingers toward the floor, so a little bit of a back bend. Tailbone forward, chest lifting. Keep going. See if you can see what's behind you. And abdominals in, and we'll come all the way up. Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Coming on down, releasing the hands. I'm going to bring your knees down onto the mat and your feet, tops of your feet onto the mat as well. We're going to sit on the feet, coming in this version of hero pose. So sitting on your feet, if you're bunching up behind your knees, you can pull the calf muscles out to the side a little bit. That'll help with that. Sitting on your feet, if you're a little bit above the feet, that's okay. We're going to lean back here, trying to bring your hands to the floor. So you could keep walking your hands back as much as you want here. You might be up on your fingertips, you might be flat on the floor, flat on the palms, it doesn't really matter. We're going to push your knees into the floor and try to lift your hips up. Take your head back. Open the chest, draw your shoulder blades back. And we'll sag the hips back down onto the feet. Coming on back up here, we're going to come into child's pose. Child's pose, you're going to curl into a little tiny ball. Bring your head toward the floor. Your hands slip back to your feet. You can hold on to your feet. You can pull them in, rounding the back of the body and softening. We'll release the hands and come on up. We're going to swing the feet around to sit. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together and come into a reclined Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle pose. So the soles of the feet come together. Your hands can help you here. Tailbone towards your feet. We'll come down onto your back. So all the way on the back. Once you're down, you might slide your feet in a little more. Gravity is going to take the knees open. So we want to take this out of the lower back. If you're in a back bend, then tailbone toward the feet to lengthen out a little more. If you have room over your head, go ahead and take your arms over your head. You might have your hands together over the top of your head, like in a diamond shape. And so if the rib cage is popping up, we're dropping that down toward the floor, trying to keep that back nice and long. The neck should be neutral and soft here. Just breathing into the belly. release the arms back down. We'll draw the knees together. Let's pick the feet up for a happy baby pose. So reach down for the outsides of your feet if you can grab them with your hands. And kick the feet up toward the ceiling, separating the feet. So you're actively pulling with the arms, starting to draw your knees in towards your shoulders. And if the tailbone's coming up, if your back is rounding, try to soften the hips back down toward the floor, lengthen out the back. And then release the feet. Let's take the left foot over the right. So you're going to cross your left knee over your right knee. I'm going to have both feet up off the floor. So left knee crosses over the right as much as you can. And the knees pulling in towards your chest. So you're drawing in close. And then you're going to drop both knees over to the right. So the feet may come to the floor, the knees may come to the floor. Everything twisting toward the right and the knees up close towards your shoulder. And then we'll open the chest toward the ceiling, dropping your left shoulder down toward the floor. So upper body is turning to the left, lower body turning toward the right. On inhale, we'll come on back up to center. We're going to switch sides. So making sure your spine is center. We'll cross the right knee as much as you can over your left knee. So right foot over. Knees drawing in close to you. We'll drop both knees and both feet over to the left side. So rolling all the way over to the left side. And then opening the chest toward the ceiling, dropping your right shoulder down toward the right. On inhale, we'll release and come on back to center. From here, you can work your way into Shavasana. Make sure that you're comfy and you're warm. And into your corpse pose. Reconnecting your awareness with your breath and sensing the earth beneath the body. Just feel the connection here, gravity holding you, the earth supporting you. And from that connection with the earth, starting to expand awareness into the rest of the room, into your environment. As you're ready, make your way up to a seated position. Give yourself credit for showing up, for doing your practice, for staying present. I thank you all for joining and for sharing your yoga with me and the others on the call. Have a wonderful rest of your night, and I will see you next time. Namaste.